Hysteria, a word that has traveled through time, steeped in misunderstandings, mysteries around and about it. Let's uncover its evolution over the course of time. Our journey begins about 2 millennia ago in ancient Greece. The term hysteria originated from the Greek word hysteria, meaning uterus. Physicians like Hippocrates believed that the uterus could physically wander through the body, causing a range of symptoms such as fainting, choking, and anxiety. And how was this treated? By enticing the uterus back to its proper place with aromatic herbs or prescribing marriage. This was an early example of how medicine reflected social norms. But during the Middle Ages, hysteria took a darker meaning. Unusual behavior in women was often attributed as witchcraft or demonic possessions. Instead of care, these women faced exorcism or were tragically executed. By the 19th century, hysteria was recasted as a medical condition again. Victorian doctors diagnosed women with hysteria for almost everything from anxiety to ambitions. Treatment for this included isolations, rest cures, and even an early mechanical device designed to release pent-up energy. But now it was Sigmund Freud who began shifting the narrative. Freud argued that hysteria was not a physical illness, rather a psychological response to unresolved trauma. This radical idea laid the groundwork for modern psychotherapy. While hysteria may be misunderstood, it also serves as a stepping stone towards understanding the mind-body connection.
Behind the evolution of hysteria into conversion disorder are real stories and lived experiences. Let me share a case of a 9-year-old boy. This boy was brought with initial concerns of weakness in his legs. All these concerns began when he first witnessed his mother receiving an injection in a nearby clinic. His parents and doctors were worried. Despite extensive tests, physical MRI scans, there were no signs of physical abnormalities. His symptom persisted for 6 months, which was an immense struggle for him. Following this, he also developed separation anxiety from his mother, struggling to be apart from her. The weakness in his legs reached to a point where he could not walk unassisted and eventually constantly needing someone to hold his hand and walk through with him. This case highlights the profound connection between emotional distress and physical symptoms, which is a hallmark of conversion disorder. Let's look at the symptoms and signs of conversion disorder. Motor symptoms, which include weakness, paralysis, tremors, difficulty walking, and if we look at the sensory symptoms, which include numbness, deafness, blindness, tingling sensation, and a loss of smell. Now let's take a look at the neurobiology of the conversion disorder.
Once thought to be affecting only women, we now know that conversion disorder affects both genders. These symptoms are seen without any medical explanation. This condition bridges the gap between emotional stress and physical complaints. So let's discuss emotional processing and brain activation. Amygdala, which is the fear center of the brain, it shows heightened sensitivity and emotional reactivity. In conversion disorder, amygdala is the area which may manifest as physical symptoms when emotional issues are not consciously processed. Prefrontal cortex and inhibitory control. Prefrontal cortex, or specifically the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, shows reduced activity in conversion disorder, because of which a person may find it difficult to regulate their motor activity. Basal ganglia, thalamocortical pathways. Emotional stress in conversion disorder, it activates the frontal and the limbic region, which in turn inhibits the basal ganglia thalamocortical pathway. This inhibition could explain the lack of awareness or conscious awareness experienced by patients. Cognitive functions such as attention as well as memory allocation also show disturbances in conversion disorder. Attention is seen to be reduced, because of which a patient might not be able to acknowledge the sensory input. Memory activation or allocation may also contribute. For example, if a person has anytime witnessed a seizure episode, may manifest symptoms similar to seizure because of emotional stress. Understanding these mechanisms are crucial for developing an effective treatment plan for individuals with conversion disorder. Thank you.